Hi, this is Heidi Lepke with Shemaya Tantra, where I give you the tools to connect to your delicious core and get the relationships that you crave, whether that's with your beloved, your boss, or your big toe. Today we're going to explore, why isn't Tantra working for you? I'll share the solution, and later on we'll look at a couple of ways why the solution actually works. So why might Tantra not be working for you? Maybe you're someone who's gone to a Tantra retreat or a festival and felt yourself so filled up, so connected and open, only to go home and find that it all fades and things just go back to normal. Or maybe you've been to a Tantra workshop where you felt apprehensive, or you even left closed, more closed than when you began. Or maybe you're someone who's done tantric techniques and you feel like just don't really do much. They just don't really work. So why might Tantra not be working? Well, here it is. It's because you got no foundation. And the foundation is meditation. I personally feel like it's a really good idea to have 2 to 5 years of meditation or yoga experience before even beginning a tantric practice. So in a moment, we'll go through why this is and how adopting a personal meditation practice can help you to feel everything that Tantra was designed for you to feel. One of the meditations that I highly recommend is a Vipassana meditation. So this is 10 days of pure silence where you get to go into yourself fully and you're not communicating with other people. And you're meditating every single day for 10 to 12 hours. These are free retreats. They're by donation, so your income won't deter you from attending. They're available to everyone and they feed you. So this is a great way to start, is by doing a 10-day Vipassana meditation. Why is meditation as a foundation the solution? Why does this help us to amplify our tantric practice? I'm going to share with you 2 reasons why this is the case. And you'll get to see how this can actually improve the quality of the workshops that you do, the practices that you're trying. So the first is, Tantra requires us to be aware of our bodies. We need to have a sensitivity in our bodies in order to feel the subtle energies. Meditation, and Vipassana in particular, is great for calibrating the sensitivity in different parts of your body. You'll get to spend time going through each part of your body and noticing, how does this part feel? How does that part feel? And this sensitivity can help you to feel the practices in Tantra more, start to develop a relationship with different parts of your body. That's the first one. The second one I'm going to go into in a little bit more detail, because this is central and probably the number one reason why your Tantra practice isn't working. In Tantra, we're looking to balance our inner Shiva and our inner Shakti. Now, Shiva is the consciousness, the witness consciousness, pure presence, awareness. You can think of Shiva a little as the container, the space where things happen. And Shakti is everything that's in manifest form. Shakti is when you're walking on the road, when you're sipping your cup of coffee. Shakti is everything that you can see, feel, hear, taste, and touch. Hey, Christian, thanks for being here. The subtler forms of Shakti are your thoughts, your emotions. And you can think of Shakti as the content. Shiva is the container, and Shakti is the content. And we're always looking to balance both of these two. 95% of us are experiencing Shakti without Shiva. We have a lot of content, but we don't have a big enough container. Have you ever had the experience of driving home from work or from an event, and you get home and you realize, I don't remember making a single turn. I don't remember how I got here. I was completely on autopilot. If that's ever happened to you, you were with Shakti, you were running Shakti, but you had no Shiva. So that's us most of the time. We're doing things, we're moving, our energy is taking us places, we're having thoughts, we're having emotions, but we don't have the witness consciousness to be aware of them. So very rarely I've seen on the other side where there's a lot of Shiva, but not so much Shakti, and it creates a different kind of imbalance. I once met a man named Chapati, and chapati is the word for bread in India. So I met Chapati at a party, and I wanted to connect with him. I wanted to chat with him. So I asked him his name. He said, "I'm Chapati." And I said, "Cool. I wanted to know this man." So I said, "Well, where are you from, Chapati?" And he stood with this really sort of vacant look in his eyes, and he said, "I am from the universe." And I rolled with it. I was like, okay, well, what's your passion? What are you doing here? What are you interested in? And he looked at me again, very still, without movement, and said, "Existence." And Chapati, I think, was meditating a lot, which is beautiful. But I wanted to get to know him on a personal level. I wanted to get to know the uniqueness in life experience and personality that God flows through him as. And I didn't have that opportunity. So there's an example of having a container, but not so much content. Now, why is meditation the foundation to your Tantra practice? Well, Tantra brings up everything. Tantra brings things up from the surface into our conscious mind. It brings up our sexual energy. It brings up repressed emotions. It brings up our raw primal self. It can bring up our kundalini. And if we don't have a container for those experiences to be held, then we can hurt ourselves or others. Imagine a garden hose with water flowing through it as your container. And now imagine that the water is flowing through just fine, but then you start a Tantra practice, and suddenly it's as if this little garden hose is being asked to carry the force of a firefighter's hose. And all of this water is trying to move through the hose at the same time. That can be a little like the experience. If we haven't come into contact with consciousness, we haven't created our container, when we start to do these practices, there's nowhere for them to go. We can't hold them. And that's where we feel these waves of emotion coming through us, where we don't feel like we have control, where maybe I've connected to my sexual primal energy, but now I don't know how to hold it, and I act in ways that aren't serving my highest good or the highest good of others. So these are ways that we can bring the balance of the container and the content of the Shiva and the Shakti, and Tantra practice can really start to take off, can really start to bring value to your life. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think Vipassana meditation is awesome for this. If you don't have time to do a 10-day retreat, then you can find an app online that will give you guided meditations. The most important thing for this is important, is it needs to be every single day. So whether or not you have time, I think you can always find 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes a day, if you commit to a meditation practice, can start to expand your container and build a spaciousness inside you so that you've got the room to feel the sensitivity, to allow the sexuality to flow through you, to feel your emotions fully, but not become them. So if you're listening on YouTube and you found this of value, please complete the loop and like, subscribe, and thank you for taking time out to connect to your delicious core and inspiring others to do the same. I will see you next time.